That's Mr. Rogers to you, and stay the hell out of my neighborhood.
Let's count down the 11 most funny jokes that Johnny Carson delivered himself. So perfect that one of them held an audience in uncontrollable laughter for a documented 53 consecutive seconds on August 5th, 1981.
What is it? Distance early warning. Well, that doesn't make up AWAC, does it? Anyway, they're very... Thank you, staff.
I went back through the verified archives, the anthologies, and the sourced transcripts to build this list, and what I found completely changed how I think about why Carson was untouchable for 30 years. Let's get right into it. Number 11, the Rajneesh Mispronunciation that Doc Severinsen couldn't let go.
Tell you what, why don't we all get out of here and go up to that guru's book burning in Oregon?
Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh, the Oregon-based cult leader who by that point had assembled a documented fleet of 90 Rolls-Royces, gave Carson exactly the kind of material he needed.
You've been reading about the Banshee Swatcha Rajijinjing or something? The man's got 90 Rolls-Royces, and people keep giving him cars. Nice cult.
And Carson, intentionally or otherwise, turned the man's name into a separate joke entirely by calling him something closer to Bag One Rajneesh during a mid-1980s monologue. At which point, bandleader Doc Severinsen, presumably well acquainted with Rajneesh's Oregon commune through local news coverage, interrupted to deliver the correct pronunciation, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh.
Did you say something?
No, the correct name is Rajneesh.
Rajneesh.
Yes.
The Bhagwan.
Rajneesh.
That's the last name, Rajneesh.
Yes.
The accidental comedy here runs on 2 tracks simultaneously. Carson riffing on a cult leader who owned nearly 100 luxury cars, and then Severinsen refusing to let the mispronunciation stand.
Well, that's okay. Rajneesh Bhagwan or Bhagwan Rajneesh.
Bhagwan this.
And the fact that the correction itself got the laugh tells you everything about how well Carson's Tonight Show ensemble operated as a unit. Number 10, Carnac and the California lottery winner.
The answer to this question is born in the USA.
Born in the USA.
On January 10th, 1986, during a Carnac sketch archived in a Tonight Show episode summary on Madly Odd, Carson held up the envelope and announced the answer, Born in the USA. The Bruce Springsteen song that had been everywhere since its 1984 release, then tore open the envelope and read the question, what song has a California lottery winner never sung?
Question is, what song has a California lottery winner never sung?
The implication being that California lottery winners were not, in fact, born in the United States, delivered through a Springsteen title that every person in that room had memorized, which is the same mechanism Carson used in the Burger King bit from 1977. Take a phrase the audience already owns, reframe it with a question, and let the collision do the work. The joke required 0 setup and 0 explanation, which is the standard Carnac held itself to on its best nights. Number 9, the toilet paper joke that emptied every shelf in America.
You know what else is disappearing from the supermarket shelves? Toilet paper. Ha ha ha, you can laugh now.
On December 19th, 1973, Carson stood in front of approximately 20 million viewers, a figure documented by the Paley Center, and delivered what he intended as a straightforward satirical line in his monologue. There's an acute shortage of toilet paper.
There is an acute shortage of toilet paper in the good old United States. We gotta quit writing on it.
What followed had nothing to do with comedy and everything to do with how much America trusted the man behind that desk. Consumers rushed stores the next morning, shelves cleared nationwide, and depending on which documented account you follow, the shortage lasted either 3 weeks, according to Today I Found Out, or as long as 4 months, according to The Atlantic.
But I want to tell you, it is serious. I just saw a commercial where Mrs. Olson comes in with a shopping bag, and the housewife says, "Forget the coffee, just give me the shopping bag." I want to tell you.
Carson's joke had accidentally manufactured the exact reality it was mocking. When The Tonight Show returned from its Christmas break in early January 1974, Carson went back on air and apologized, which is the detail most retellings skip entirely. The most trusted voice in late night had to walk back a joke because it had caused a genuine national hoarding event, and that says something about his reach that no ratings number fully captures. Number 8. The fire hydrant flags down a dog. ARP's verified compilation of Carson's best jokes documents this as a signature line from his summer monologue series, where a call-and-response structure had the studio audience shouting, "How hot was it?" on cue across multiple Tonight Show seasons through the 1970s. Carson's answer, "It was so hot today, I saw a fire hydrant flagging down a dog." Every viewer carries a locked-in mental image of a dog at a fire hydrant, and Carson reverses the roles in 9 words, which is the entire mechanism. A longer setup gives your brain time to catch up and defuse the joke before the punchline reaches it, and he never gave you that window. Number 7. Burger King tells you to cook it yourself. AZ Quotes documents this line from the summer of 1977, placing it squarely inside Burger King's Have It Your Way campaign that owned American advertising throughout that decade. Carson's version, "It was so hot today that Burger King was singing, 'If you want it your way, cook it yourself.'" Number 6. The Nazi Bloopers cassette.
Famous Nazi bloopers. Which is not available in any store.
In an August 11th, 1989 monologue, Carson described attempting to order from a Time Life book series, specifically their volumes on the Third Reich, and arriving at the part of the advertisement where, if you acted immediately, they would include a bonus cassette of, as he put it, famous Nazi bloopers, not available in any store. He then delivered his personal favorite from that cassette, the time Hitler mispronounced Hermann Göring's name and called him a German herring instead, which Carson relayed with the same straight-faced gravity he gave everything.
I got that bloopers, and I think my favorite rib tickler was the time Hitler referred to Hermann Göring as a German herring. It's one of it's just a lot of them like that.
Number 5. The Snoopy balloon meets the Chrysler building.
ABC Commissary is having its annual Thanksgiving special. Yeah. It's closed.
A TV comedy writing handbook pulled this joke apart specifically as a technical example of how to curve the language of a premise for maximum effect, which is a stronger endorsement than most late-night material ever receives.
I watched the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade today. They had an accident that you may not know about, but some of the mooring cables snapped, and Ed blew all the way to Brooklyn.
The line, "There was a tragedy at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The Snoopy balloon got loose and was neutered by the Chrysler building."
Big Snoopy balloon broke loose and was neutered by the Chrysler building.
The word neutered carries all the weight here. Clinical, precise, unexpected, and completely absurd in this context. Turning the Chrysler building into an unwilling surgeon and a parade float into something genuinely strange. Damaged or deflated or destroyed would have killed the joke on contact. In my experience, going back through Carson's Thanksgiving monologue material, this bit sits at his darkest mainstream comedy register, that specific place where he'd take a family setting and quietly drop something that made adults stop and reprocess what they just heard. He walked that line with more confidence than anyone in late night before or since. Number 4. French toast and the Hershey bar joke.
French toast. What does a very lonely Pepperidge Farm baker do?
The August 16th, 1989, Carnac the Magnificent sketch produced one of the blunter punchlines in the bit's long run, with Carson announcing the answer, Hershey bar.
Hershey bar.
Hershey bar.
That's right.
Before opening the envelope to reveal the question, which pointed directly at Roseanne Barr with the implication that a Hershey bar was something notably smaller than she was.
Name Roseanne's chunkier sister.
A joke that landed in 1989 the way it could only land in 1989, delivered deadpan by a man in a sequin turban who had spent years perfecting the exact expression of someone reading sacred text while saying something completely absurd. The Carnac format protected him here the same way it always did. The answer arrives first, the audience processes it as neutral, and the question reframes it into something they weren't expecting, giving Carson just enough distance from the punchline to play innocent while the room caught up. Number 3, Carnac solves the alphabet soup situation.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
The Carnac the Magnificent bits get written off as a costume gimmick constantly, and that reading is wrong. Writing a joke in reverse, answer first, question second, requires constructing a punchline that works as a standalone statement before the setup even exists, which is genuinely harder than standard joke structure, and Carson ran it repeatedly across his 30-year run. ARP cites this specific exchange as one of the definitive Carnac moments. Carnac announces the answer, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. He opens the envelope and reads the question. Describe the sound made by someone choking on alphabet soup.
Describe the sound made by someone choking to alphabet soup.
That 12-letter answer works visually, phonetically, and conceptually all at once, and the whole thing collapses the moment Carnac shows any self-awareness, because total deadpan solemnity is the only performance choice that keeps the structure standing. It's not clever, it's surgical, and the delivery requirement makes it harder to pull off than it looks. Number 2. The Oscars line that Hollywood laughed at itself for, at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in Los Angeles. On April 9th, 1979, Carson took the stage to host the 51st Academy Awards, the night John Wayne made his final public appearance, receiving a standing ovation from a room that understood what it was watching before his passing 3 months later. The emotional register in that auditorium was not light. Carson opened the ceremony with, I see a lot of new faces, especially on the old faces.
Very honest with you, I am very thrilled to stand up here tonight and gaze out on this glorious throng of beautiful people. I see a lot of new faces, especially on the old faces.
Cited in virtually every retrospective of his Oscars appearances, the line gets discussed mostly as a clever quip. But what nobody points out is that he told that joke to the exact people the joke was about. Getting a room full of Hollywood veterans to laugh at a plastic surgery reference delivered to their faces requires a level of social calibration that operates well above comedy writing. Carson read the room, read the era, read the occasion, and landed the one line that could work in that context. And no other line would have. Number 1, Sis Boom Bah and the 53-second record.
That famous visitor from the East. Former Wall Street stockbroker, Carnac, the Magnificent.
This is not a matter of preference. August 5th, 1981 produced the most significant single comedy moment in Tonight Show history, and the documentation supports that directly. Before taping, Carson walked over to Ed McMahon with a warning. One of the jokes in the Carnac bit is going to put you away. That's a direct quote, confirmed by McMahon himself in multiple accounts.
Having trouble divining this one? Yeah.
Sis Boom Bah.
Sis Boom Bah.
Carson knew exactly what was loaded in that envelope. Carnac announces the answer, Sis Boom Bah. He opens the envelope and reads the question. What is the sound made by an exploding sheep?
Describe the sound made when a sheep explodes.
53 seconds of uncontrollable laughter followed. Documented, verified, replayed. Both Carson and McMahon broke character completely, two men with decades of live television experience between them, undone by a single line written by staffer Pat McCormick. The studio audience watched it happen, and the genuine reaction fed back into the room, turning 53 seconds of laughter into one of the most replayed moments in television comedy history. The reason this joke works structurally is specific and worth understanding. Sis Boom Bah arrives in your brain as a complete, already familiar phrase, a cheerleader chant, which your memory retrieves instantly. Carson then reframes it as a sound effect, and your brain has to reconcile the cheerleader connotation with the image of an exploding sheep. That collision happens in under a second, and there is no graceful landing available. Pat McCormick built a joke with no exit route, and on August 5th, 1981, Carson detonated it live in front of millions of people. No other moment on this list generated 53 seconds of documented laughter, and no other moment made Carson himself visibly unable to continue. This is the one. For years, I thought Carson's real genius lived in his interviews. That gift he had for making guests look brilliant on the couch. That framing turned out to be wrong. Going back through the documented record, the jokes Carson wrote and delivered himself are what outlasted everything else. 30 years behind that desk, a verified run from 1962 to 1992, and a catalog that English critics were quoting in print by May 1968, while AARP, Parade, and Brainy Quote are still citing it today. Carson passed in January 2005, and in the 20-plus years since, no late-night host has produced a single joke that a TV comedy writing handbook pulled apart as a technical masterclass. I made the mistake for years of treating Carson as a nostalgia figure, someone you appreciated because of what he meant to the generation ahead of you. That framing undersells him badly. The 11 jokes on this list are not charming relics. They hold up under structural analysis, documented by named sources with specific dates, and verifiable against the historical record. Carson wasn't the king of late night because the audience liked him. He held that position because the writing was better, and because on August 5th, 1981, one of his jokes held 53 seconds of laughter in a room that had seen everything. That's the benchmark, and nobody has reached it since. If this one landed for you, subscribe. Every video goes this deep.